Guys, an opportunity to kind of get on in here, if you will. You know what I'm saying? An opportunity for you to kind of start percolating. Do me a favor, subscribe, share this link, because this stream, we about to get active here on this stream. I can't wait to talk about a lot of it. So I'll kind of wait for you guys to just kind of come in a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and get into it. But more importantly, the Seahawks are 2-0. Get excited real quick. A lot of times there's other fan bases where their team is 0-2 or their team is 1-1. Shout out to them 49ers. How's that 1-1 sandwich feel? You know what I mean? So when you are 2-0, you definitely have to get excited about that. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and start letting you guys come to the stream a little bit, see what's happening, but we got a lot to talk about. Frank, before I get into it, man, I just want to say I'm always grateful to have you here with us, brother.
Yeah, happy to be here. Happy Pete Carroll birthday today, and I thought in typical fashion, why not have a very stressful Pete Carroll style game to kick this off. I'm glad it ended in a dub for him. I know you really want to focus on, you were on this throughout the week, about traveling to the East Coast, playing at 10 a.m., and all these things that we just can't overrate, because while we thought heading into the season New England might be a pretty bad team, they're just competitive, they're smart, they know what they're doing out there, they didn't make a ton of mistakes.
Yeah, there we go. All right. In good form and fashion, it is time to get this stream started. First, let me start it off with this. This is a new thing. Every time they win, I got to say it right here. A game like that, down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. That's right. I thought today was a heavyweight fight. It was a chess match between two of the youngest coaches in the NFL. Two coaches that are replacing legends. Mike McDonald replacing Pete Carroll. And you got Jared Mayo go ahead and replacing Bill Belichick. Two good coaches who, I'm telling you, mark it down. These two head coaches are going to be talked about for a while.
We're good.
That is a very disciplined Patriots team against, in my opinion, a disciplined Seahawks team, but one got it done, and it was the Seahawks. Would you say that, Frank?
Oh, we do have a guest.
Oh, we got a guest real quick? Okay, hold on real quick, man. We got to get this guest in because you never know what you get in the party. Man, come on, send him on through. Who we got coming in here today? Oh, come on now. Come on, there he is. Kanan Smith and Jigba is here on the stream. What's up, Kanan?
Looks like his screen's frozen. What's going on?
Oh, okay. Looks like his screen's frozen. All right.
We will keep with you.
Come on,
we can get him to join us.
I can hear him in my ear.
Is he with us?
I can hear him in my ear a little bit, but hey, we're going to keep going until we get that figured out.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, hold on. Screen's going black. We'll give him a couple minutes to get his tech set out, and then we'll have him join us.
Okay. Back to my thing. I was rolling for a second. Where did I leave? Oh, I know where I left off. I left off with two great teams battling each other today, the Patriots and the Seahawks. There he is. Kanan Smith and Jigba, you were at the game. You're getting ready to fly to the airport. What's up, man? What's your thoughts on that game today, my boy?
Can y'all see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's good? What's good, man? How was the game?
Man, what a beautiful day at the game. What a beautiful day to be a Seahawks fan. Man, it was stressful, but man, the Seahawks showed a lot today, man. Honestly, I know it was stressful, but it was a beautiful thing.
Man, the
game today, man.
Yeah.
The game today was, I'm not gonna lie, like I said, it was stressful, but man, there's nothing like being 2-0, man. Nothing like being 2-0. We battled through adversity, and we overcame a lot of things, and at the end of the day, we won. And that's the only thing that matters.
Hey, Kanan, what'd you think about your brother out there? 12 catches, 117 yards. What'd you think about JSN? Well, you there, brother?
No, the energy was great. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. My
Okay. Hey, we'll try another time. We'll try another time, brother. Thank you.
get on, but it was great today.
Well, we tried to get it in there with Kanan. Kanan just leaving the game. Of course,
Yes,
he
sir.
plays minor league baseball and everything
Talk
like
to
that.
me.
So he's helped. You there? So, anyways, back to it. We'll get back into it. Safe travels, Kanan, on your way to where you got to get going because he's got to get on the plane. Two teams battling each other was absolutely beautiful. I mean, it was fantastic. The Seahawks get a win. Now, we're going to talk about the win. We're going to talk about everything that happened in between, maybe some concerns, which they're there, but more importantly, we have to glorify this win. And who are we going to start off with? Geno Smith was absolutely incredible all game long. Was phenomenal. Go through the stats. I'm talking about first quarter, second quarter, third, all the way through. Geno was phenomenal. And look, a lot needs to be said by the type of game that he played. We've all said it since the beginning of the season. This team needs Geno, and that Geno out there was perfection. Let's go to it. Geno Smith was 33 for 44, 327 yards. He threw a TD, a passer rate. His QBR rating was a 103. What could you say about that game on Geno?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, a regular average quarterback probably does not get that win. Geno Smith was spectacular in that W. Even though there are some concerns that I don't want to get to yet, but I thought that Geno played in spite of those things. I'm telling you right now, when it comes to the quarterback play for the Seahawks, it's been phenomenal. Geno, thank you for that game that you played.
Yeah, it was a hard fought 103 passer rating. Like, that was a good defense. And then we'll get into this a little bit later too, but the offense pretty much understood, hey, Geno, it's on you. You threw for the second most pass attempts of your career in this game, tied for the second most. You need to at least carry the offense, and we'll have the defense lift you up in the same way. But I thought he was great, and we talked about it earlier this week of, I do want to see a game where he can carry, and that kind of was it.
There it is. Geno got it done. Now, he got it done in spite of. Let's talk. We'll leave the offense. No, we're not going to leave the offense yet. We're going to stay with the offense, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to the wide receivers. JSN party today, it was, no question. 12 receptions, 117 yards receiving. It felt like they couldn't stop JSN. He was open always. These are some of the things that a lot of you have expected out of JSN, because you're wondering, last week against the Broncos, 2 targets early in the first quarter and not targeted again the rest of the way. I was even scratching my head, and so were you scratching your head, the fact that Jackson Smith-Njigba is a way better receiver than 2 targets. Well, today you saw it. Now, DK, of course, did his thing as well. Earlier on, that touchdown was schemed up, 56-yard touchdown. Ryan Grubb was in his bag to scheme him open. By the way, have you guys noticed something? I said this last year. I made this observation last season when it came to the Huskies, the UW Huskies, and that offense last year. The wide receivers, the pass catchers for UW, I used to always think, how are they so wide open? Well, Ryan Grubb schemes these guys open the way that he did last season, and you saw it here today. Question for you. Have you ever seen DK Metcalf that open? That touchdown that DK had, have you ever seen him that wide open? I know you're saying no, because since he's been a Seahawk, I've never seen him that open. That's the Ryan Grubb deal. Wide receivers were fantastic. Jackson Smith-Njigba, DK Metcalf. I know. You guys saw it. You saw the captain. You saw that when it was time and it was needed, the captain Tyler Lockett does his thing. No, he didn't show up so much on the stat sheet. No, he didn't have a whole bunch of catches, but he had some situations where it mattered. In the first half, you see how they went to him. It was 3rd and 5, and they went to him, and they had that pass interference, and Tyler Lockett, being the veteran that he is, drew that defensive pass interference. Key situation right there. And then also, in overtime, key situational catch. The captain, Tyler Lockett. And what's beautiful about Tyler, that you have probably seen on other teams. You know what happens when the wide receiver doesn't get the ball? You know how the wide receiver doesn't get the ball and they come over to the sideline and they're pouting and they're bringing that negative energy to the team? Not Tyler. Tyler can have 8 catches, 15 catches, 2 catches, 1 catch, and it's the same Tyler. This is why I'm always calling him the captain. This is why I always believe that at some point Tyler Lockett is going to need his statue, because that is what you call a teammate. Back to the team and overcoming some of the huge concerns that I had. Some of you had concerns on the offensive line. Full stop. Now, you guys was going off on the offensive line last week. You gonna give this offensive line some credit this week? Have you seen what Charles Cross is doing over there at left tackle? Have you seen the third string guy, Forsyth, over there? The Seahawks offensive line was good today. So you just got to make sure that I know that offensive line stats don't show up in the fantasy football and all those things. But that's the same people that gets criticized so heavily when things go wrong. But when things go right, we are slow to give them the love that they need. Give the offensive line their flowers and their kudos. They played well today, getting it done. So shout out to the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, Charles Cross looks amazing. He looks like a franchise tackle.
Franchise tackle. All right. I am glad that we are talking about this game on a win, because now we can go to some concerns. Have you guys seen the stat sheets for rushing yards? Well, I'll tell you what it was. It was 185 to 46. 185 to 46. The New England Patriots had 185 yards rushing to the Seahawks 46 yards rushing. Now, this is a concern. And in order to make the playoffs, in order to win the NFC West division, in order to exceed the expectations that many of you and us have of this team, that means that this run game is going to have to get better. Seriously. I'm not going to sit here and talk about which personnel they should use. I'm not going to talk about what is going on with Kenny McIntosh? Are we going to see him? I thought, obviously, Charbonnet, at the very end of that game, I thought his efforts to get that first down in OT were fantastic. Salute to Charbonnet. But hey, 12 Seahawk fans and everybody that's watching this stream, this can't continue. And that's what I'm saying. Geno Smith plays so well in spite of being kind of one-dimensional, in spite of the New England Patriots defenders, that defense, those DNs, they pinned their ears back because they knew it was going to be pass. Now, some of you all are trying to kind of put this blame on Ryan Grubb. As a matter of fact, when I was coming in the studio, I actually got that. I disagree. I disagree. I think this is one of those things where I think Ryan Grubb knows that, hey, he knows better than me. Who am I? I'm just some yahoo. Better than most of us. He knows that the run game is needed. If you go back to what he did at UW, go check out that run game. Ryan Grubb loves the run game. As a matter of fact, go look at week 1. Denver Broncos. How did the Seahawks beat the Broncos in the second half? Adjustments were made, and it was the run game. I truly think that this was a situation where, man, you got to make this meal, but you don't have the ingredients. You don't have the ingredients to make it. And I think that's what we saw out of Ryan Grubb today. I think it was more like, hey, G, quiet. I know we need to run the ball. I know that. So, speaking of ingredients, does this mean we're going to see more of Kenny McIntosh? Is it time? Because I know I'm ready to see that. At least see what we have in McIntosh. Because right now, this road going down here, they can't have it. 185 to 46. That lets you know what type of game that Geno Smith had to play in spite of. And in the second half, not having those drives extend, right, was keeping the Seahawks defense on the field, getting them tired. This is why this win was phenomenal. Don't let anybody tell you that this was not a good win. That New England team is a good football team. Hold on, scratch that. All NFL teams are good. I mean, let's stop with that. Ask the Niners, are the Minnesota Vikings good?
There might be one team out there that's not.
Who's not good?
The one quarterbacked by Bryce Young.
Oh, man. Man, the Panthers.
That might be the one exception. I believe you every other way. Any given Sunday, teams can win.
Oh, the Panthers.
I don't even know the result of the Raiders-Ravens game. I think the Raiders won that one. Any given Sunday, teams can win, but Carolina might be the exception.
Let's go to defense.
But one thing you said before we switched from the run game is what was so frustrating, and we talked about this earlier this week on the podcast, was we knew how New England was going to attack us. Jacoby Brissett had 5 yards per attempt. Ramondre Stevenson had 30 carries in week 1. We knew that was their exact game plan. We know they don't have multiple ways to win, unlike us, and it was still being effective. It's not an amazing run team with Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson. And then I look at our division, CMC when healthy, Jordan Mason when he's not, Kyron Williams, James Conner. Like, these are all pretty established, if not great running backs. Makes me a little worried.
Yeah, it does. It does have, it's a little worried. Like I was, look, make no mistake about it. We're going to see what's going to be going on with Kenneth Walker III, but the Seahawks need him.
Yeah, that was a big reminder of the gap. It's not just, oh, we can plug anyone. There is a gap between Walker and the rest of the guys.
The Seahawks need Kenneth Walker III. We're going to see what's happening. First of all, I just want to say real quick, shout out to all of you that's on the stream. I'm going to get to you guys in a second. Thank you. I see some of my big people that's there. Hey, Kanan, hey, man, hey, have a safe flight, man. I know the cell service was a little struggling, but, hey, we're going to get you on the stream next time, next party. All right, let's go to defense. Defense wins championships. And they won, again, in spite of. But we need to give credit. Go ahead. You can put this in your search bar. You can put this on social media. You can tell everybody. Are you ready for this? The person who helped single-handedly win this game on defense, and the game ball on defense, who we're giving it to? We're giving it to the equalizer.
The equalizer.
The equalizer, baby. Julian Love. What did he do, G? What did Julian Love do? Well, you know what? Let's talk about what Julian Love did. Did you see it? Did you see in the first half? What pass catcher from the New England Patriots could the Seahawks not stop? You saw it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He had their tight end, Henry, had 7 receptions in the first half, 98 yards in the first half. And I know you was at home. I know you was on your TV screen like, damn, who gonna stop him? Who is gonna stop Henry? You probably kept asking each other, like the wide receivers, okay, they're young guys. We saw Polk. Oh, by the way, shout out to UW alum Polk, Jay-Sean Polk getting that touchdown. But you saw it. You said, man, what's going on? Why is this tight end doing us like this? And then adjustments were made. And did you see Julian Love? Did you see Julian Love go ahead and being the equalizer to take care of that? Did you see Julian Love? He had my man Henry had 98 yards receiving in the first half. He had 11 in the second half.
Yeah, he had one grab, one catch.
He had one catch for 11 yards, the equalizer. Julian Love. Oh, my goodness. Somebody who is incredible to have on his defense. Now, even though I am giving Julian Love the player of the game on defense, I got to give an honorable mention to the one player on this team that you didn't realize you needed. You ever get into a new relationship? You never get you a new significant other and you didn't realize you need them as much as you did until they're there? Who is that? Leo Williams. Do you see the way that dude is active on that D-line? I bet you Leo Williams has you watching interior D-line play as if you were the Rams of last year with Aaron Donald. Leo Williams is disruptive. He is phenomenal and fantastic in that situation. And boy, we never knew that we needed somebody like him. And as Seahawks fans, you're saying, thank you. Thank you for what you are bringing to this team. Thank you for that effort, that second effort that you see him consistently make over and over again.
Yeah, what I love is Mafe, who also had a really great game, keeps rushing on the outside and forcing Brissett to step up, and then he forces Brissett to step up right into Leonard Williams' path, and those two had this great dynamic, this 1-2 punch on that right side. And also, just a reminder, everyone out there playing fantasy football or doing anything like that, talk to your bad league owners and bug them for trades, because we got Julian Love and Leonard Williams from the Giants. That's a sorry franchise since Tom Coughlin has left. Doesn't mean they don't have good players, and we got them. Oh, my God.
Yeah, super excited about having the big cat, Leo. Man, what an addition that he has made. And I just want to give shout out to this defense in general, right? It's a tough game on the road. And I hope don't let anybody tell you, oh, the Seahawks only played the Patriots or the Seahawks only played Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett was fantastic today. Do you see how many sacks as he was elusive too? The way he was getting out and about and moving within the pocket. Jacoby was not that bad. He was a veteran. Our very own Steve Kugler. I know he's a Patriots fan, but even he has to admit that Jacoby ain't that bad. For all the people that want to say play Drake May right away, you have Drake May. He's going to be fine. That is a veteran quarterback. And watch what the New England Patriots do after this. I'm telling you, I don't think that's a bad team. The same way I don't think the Broncos are going to be a bad team. I think but that Patriots team, they got good defense. They rush for 185 yards. They don't turn the football over. They take care of it. That is a good team. And Mayo, their head coach Mayo, who played for Belichick, you can see the discipline of that defense. You can see just how patient they were. So I will take this win 2-0.
So you're saying in the first 3 weeks of the season, our easiest opponent might be the Miami Dolphins with Skylar Thompson at quarterback.
Wow. Yeah. Yes.
Interesting.
It might be. It might just be. That's coming up. Miami game at home. It might be, considering that they're not going to have Tua at quarterback. I didn't give a young guy, so I gotta make sure. Look, it's hard. Look, man, doing this stream sometimes you might forget some things. Have you bought stock in Boye Mafe? Have you bought stock in him? You know who he reminds me of? For all you Seahawks fans that's been around a while, he's got that. I don't know if he has a temperament, because Chris Clemens had a temperament. Let me tell y'all. I mean, for real. Chris Clemens was a dog. Clem, we called him. But Boye Mafe kind of got that Clem to him. You know what I mean? And remember, Chris Clemens, I don't know if you guys know this, but Chris Clemens had 40 sacks in 4 years. That's how good Clem was, right? Boye Mafe is active. I'm buying stock. That dude is fast. elusive, gets off that ball. I am a Boye Mafe fan. Offensive line looked great. Overall, what a huge team win it was. I absolutely loved it. All right, let's have some fun here. I want to go ahead and say hello to everybody that's on the stream. A lot of you all checking in. I appreciate you being here. Hawks fan is here. P. Jeezy talking about Lockett being underrated. Let's get to some. I would like to do this. I want to get to some of our mainstay features that we're going to be doing on here. It's now time for Respect the Fit or Next to Fit. This is an opportunity where these guys get a chance to show off their stuff. As you guys know, Lakin Tomlinson, offensive lineman, last week was the week 1 winner. So I told the Seahawks personnel, make sure that you get my man on this stream, a picture of him, because we want to be able to see if he can repeat week 2 as the winner. What we got there, Frank?
Let's kick off with him.
Okay, there is Lakin Tomlinson right there, offensive lineman with the Louis bag. Louis carry-on as well. The suit is major with the Chanel brooch. Love the glasses. Hold on. Y'all, for an offensive lineman to be dressing like this, and by the way, he was our week 1 winner last week. Frank, this is a respect the fit. No question. Respect the fit.
Yeah. That's clean. That's very clean. I love the suit.
Even our war came in there. Respect. P. Jeezy said the respect. Come on, man. Y'all know offensive linemen don't be dressing like that. So, hey, he might have a chance to win week 2. When have we ever had offensive linemen win like this? All right, let's get to the next one.
I mean, he's got challenges, though. These guys dressed up for their cross-country trip. Here is Leonard Williams, speaking of him.
Leo Williams with the fit right there. You know what? Here's the thing. First of all, in his face, I'm going to tell him respect the fit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell him respect the fit in his face. But, it's a safe, dress and what he's wearing. I like the high waters right there to kind of show off the ankles, show off the shoes and everything like that.
You might have to talk about your
blazer.
sock take.
Huh?
You might have to get your sock take out there because we're going to see a little bit of that in this trend.
Yeah. So, Leo Williams, I'm going to next to fit. What else we got next?
Let's do DK, our guy DK.
Ooh.
And one thing I want to ask you too, before we get too distracted from Respect the Fit, is if you have any thoughts on why they revealed a stat that he never has 100-yard games in the first 2 weeks of the season. And this is one of the rare, this might have been the first time or one of the few times. And I wasn't really sure if there's any reason for that other than warming up into the league, into the season. If there's any reason for his slow starts generally.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really can't say.
Didn't have one today, so.
Yeah, I can't say what the reason is. I think that DK is definitely going to be and have a different season. I think that wide receiver core is going to be incredible.
Someone doesn't like the galoshes.
As for the fit's incredible, y'all. The fit's incredible. Hold on. Now, look, I know y'all don't want to say it. You don't want to admit it. But first of all, when you see the fit, jeez, does his legs count for anything? His legs are incredible. It absolutely popped, that fit. Look at that. With the shorts, love the color of that jacket. Ooh, Gino. Respect the fit. Respect the fit out of Gino. Ooh, I love it. We got any other ones?
We got just another close-up shot of DK just to show.
Oh, look at that shirt.
Just to show the shirt.
That has, for all you all out there, look up Robert Graham. Robert Graham, that's a very popular brand. I don't know that is. I doubt it's Robert Graham, but it kind of has that same type of family. You know what I'm saying? Okay, what else we got next? PGZ, by the way, them boots was nice. Them boots was nice on DK.
All right, well, if we do DK, let's do his running mate. Let's do JSN.
You know what? Here's the thing with JSN. First of all, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to next to fit on JSN. And here's why I'm going next to fit. Because JSN has been mailing it in lately. JSN has just been throwing on some cool glasses. He got the hair, and the outfit's been, they've been okay.
That's not a 12 reception outfit.
I need JSN to step his game up. I'm going to next to fit on him. No. He's not even in the category. That's right. So JSN, I know your brother, I know your family. They see this stuff. I'm telling you right now, I need you to step your game up. Next to fit.
All right, and then the quarterback. Since we did the two receivers, let's do the quarterback. Ooh, that's what Gino went with.
Respect the fit. And here's why I'm going to respect the fit.
Is he going to a funeral?
Because the thing is with Gino, that's how quarterbacks should dress.
I like
the
that.
Quarterback is the CEO of the team. The quarterback is the representation of what is about to happen. You see, when your quarterback dresses like that and is headed to the bus, and some of y'all might think, oh, it's no big deal. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because that energy that Geno Smith is getting right there, that he's giving off with that energy, says nothing but this is about real business. Absolutely respect the fit. Geno, that's fire.
And there's a right amount of flash because I think the lens wear really nice. I like the glasses.
Yeah. Nice lenses. Lenses.
I love someone just roasted JSN's outfit saying he looks like he works on a cruise.
Yeah. That. Come on, JSN. I need better out of you. All right, let's get about two more, and then we'll come up with a winner and everything.
Yeah, two or three more. Let's go to defense. Let's do our safety, Jenkins.
Huh. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I like this. I like the fit because, as you all know, some of you guys notice on this stream, simplicity is a beautiful word. Simplicity is what we see right here with Rayshawn right here. Love the shoes, love the zipper that zips down, the jacket right there with his chain right there. Nice hat. I respect the fit. What you got on there?
I don't know. A lot of people I work with in this building dress like that. I mean, the chain's nice. I'm gonna pass. We've had too many good ones this round.
You gonna pass on that one?
I'm gonna pass.
I respect the fit.
All right.
Because look, sometimes simplicity is good. Like for an example, today I had my truck driver feeling, right? So I came in today with the nice little, truck driver, nice little shirt, right? Now this hat would have been truck driver too, but it's got green on it, and then with this green screen, it doesn't really work. So, but yeah. I like simplicity. There it is.
Well, speaking of simple, we got two more. This one really channeling the Chris Sullivan vibe. Here you go. That's our guy, McIntosh.
Wow. Next to fit, Kenny McIntosh. By the way, I'm a big Kenny McIntosh fan. Met your family recently. I think it was a preseason game. Good people. Loved me. I think they were your parents. Good people. But this fit right here, I'm gonna go ahead and next it. Nice, simple. It's cool. You know what I mean? But this is one of those that,
That's something I would wear.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of into it. But
Seahawks social media wanted to go ahead and put them on there. But you know what though? It's chill. You look. The thing is, Kenny McIntosh, great looking guy. And also, I do believe this. The better looking you are, the less you really have to dress. Hence the reason why I got to dress so well. You know what I mean? Hey, the better looking you are, you can get away with that. So I'm going to next to fit, but I still respect Kenny McIntosh. Let's get one more.
All right, last one. We had Agent Gino, and now we have a similar look on the defensive side. This is our guy, our player of the week, Julian Love, a defensive player of the week at least.
The equalizer. Look at Julian Love. Look at how clean he looks. So that's fine. We got a CEO on offense, And we have the equalizer on defense in Julian Love. Look at the business type that he is. He looks like he could either be going on the way for a presidential debate, or he could be on the way to take over for Boeing. He could be on the way to be the new CEO of Starbucks, or he could be on the way to be a part of the adjustments made at halftime to make sure that their tight end doesn't get as many yards.
And he'd be great at all of it. We're all in on Julian Love.
Respect the fit. Week 2, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to give him the winner because I feel like the expectations of respect the fit and next to fit, you never think that an offensive lineman would hit you the way that he does. So can you just tell the people one more time, let's put up Laken Tomlinson. He is going to be the week 2. That's right. The week 2, the reset, respect the fit champion. Look at it. He got the suit, shoe game, Chanel brooch, tie, busy, and all giving off love energy. Then he got the Louis duffel bag with the Louis carry on right there with the roller. Ooh, give it to him, big fella. Laken wins it again. Respect.
I do want to ask, and maybe the chat should weigh in on this. We've been calling Julian Love the equalizer. Should we be calling him the prosecutor?
Okay. Is that Kihi? How you pronounce your name, Mr. Wong? Kihi Wong said the prosecutor for Julian Love. I like it.
I'm into it.
I'm into it. You got that. Mr. Wong, I'm going to make sure you get your love for that. The prosecutor. Yeah, because I like the way he gets out there on defense and he delivers his opening statement. And at the very end in the second half, he delivered his closing arguments. All right. Woo-wee. I love that. Okay.
Right before we go, I just want to give an NFC West update. Arizona up over the Rams 24-3. And that was with the Niners already losing in the 10 o'clock slot. So it looks like we might have a bunch of 1-1 teams, and then the Rams at 0-2, and then we're 2-0.
Who's first place right now?
The Seahawks.
Who's first place in the division right now? Make sure you go and you tell all your Niner friends. You know, because them Niner friends, they obnoxious. They love to talk about the past. And you ask them, you ain't done nothing. And then them boys, them Cowboys, them boys, what happened to them? It is the same Cowboys. You know the Cowboys that have not been to the NFC Championship game in this century? It's them same Cowboys. And so the Seahawks, baby, you get to go to sleep tonight. You get to start your week off right. You get to know that the Seahawks are 2-0. That's all that matters. They're 2-0 right now. Coming back home week 3 to play in front of the 12s at Lumen Field, right there, that place. They get to come home to that next week against the Dolphins. That's it.
And let's look at our
first place.
And let's look at our competition in the NFC. Minnesota is 2-0. New Orleans and Tampa Bay are 2-0, and then the Eagles have a chance at 2-0 on Monday. Remember, they're playing Atlanta and they don't have AJ Brown.
By the way, the Vikings, they're not bad. The Saints, have you seen that Saints offense? Whoo! That is why the NFL is so good. That is why, because every year, year after year, this is why I say, stop judging these games on paper. This is why I don't like that. Oh, you should win this game. Oh, you should win that game. You just never know which team is going to show up. The difference between the Super Bowl winner and the team that's the worst team in the NFL is about that much. That's right, that much. These are great games always. There are a lot of talented teams, coaches, staff, front office, all those things. It takes a lot to win a game. So this is why I say, don't let anybody come to you and say, oh, the Seahawks are just 2-0. Just 2-0? Go ahead and ask other fan bases and other organizations would they like to be 2-0. The Seahawks are 2-0, and you can't beat that.
And sometimes just when it comes to football, because the Saints, they're a great example of this. They're running back most of the same roster, same coaching staff. They're in cap hell. They made one significant change. They brought in Clint Kubiak. I'm sure you recognize that last name. It's his first season as the offensive coordinator for that team.
Love it. Love it. All right. Now, another conversation that I would like to have. I bet you didn't save that betting deal, did you? I wanted to bring up something. Don't worry about it. I'll bring up something to you guys that's happening a lot. And I want to, this is where I don't have the expertise because, as you all know, I don't bet, right? I definitely don't sports bet, right? So, but it was something interesting, and there's a conversation that I think that I want to have, and maybe you guys on the stream can help me out with this. So, in the United States, sports betting has surpassed $220 billion in wagers over the last 5 years. $220 billion over the last 5 years. Head to head, back in the day, if you were just 10 years ago, if you wanted to place a bet, Frank, if you wanted to place a bet on any type of game, you had to either head to Vegas or you had to grab an illegal, like a bookie, to make that bet for you. Yeah. Now it is easy now, considering a lot of these states have kind of lifted that, if you will. My question, this is where I'm asking, is this a problem? I think it's a problem. I'll tell you why. I think that betting on sports games is different than betting at a slot machine. You can watch a sports game and still be emotionally excited or down, whether you have money on the game or not. Now imagine that emotion being tied to money. I'm not trying to do this, Frank, but I just wanted to just kind of bring this up. And by the way, I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't. I'm just saying it blows me away where sports gambling is today. All the commercials I see, bet. And I'm like, man, is this a problem? Sometimes, don't you got to protect some of these people from themselves, Frank?
As someone who definitely checks in on that world, it definitely could be a problem. Everyone wants to make money fast, right? And the thing about sports is there's a lot of ego with sports because everyone thinks they have the right opinion about sports. So that makes them pretty incentivized to gamble on it. And it's just if you have it on your phone and just everything that pops up, all of these options and these parlays and these promos and these early cash outs, and you can bet in the game, you can bet after the game, you can do futures, you can bet awards. Like, there's just so much there that it can really just make your eyes spin, much like being at a casino where they don't have any windows and they try to make your head spin with the carpet being distracting and directionless. Paul had a really great piece on My Northwest writing about how Washington has the right idea when it comes to sports betting, because Paul Holden agrees pretty much. Right? He's like, this can be a problem. It's gone very far.
So here's my question for all of you all in the chat right now. Where should the line be drawn in sports betting? And what I mean by that is that, are you one of those that feels like I do? Like okay, I'll admit, I'm old school. I know. I think that in order to make a sports bet, you should have to go to Vegas. Okay, I'll agree I'm extreme. But I want to ask you, are you one of those that says, there should be no limit into how you are able to place a bet? Meaning, I can be on my phone right here and place a bet. Do you think that anybody should be able in all states? Because I know in Illinois, you can place a bet. They have it lifted where you can place a bet from your phone. Do you think that you should be able to place bets on your phone from the comforts of your couch or in your office? That's wild to me. That is wild to get so emotionally wrapped up in some of these things and have an opportunity. Like I said, I think it's way different than slot machines, cards, blackjack, because I actually think that you actually there's a possibility, you're going to lose. I mean, I know you know that in sports, but in sports betting, I'm thinking like, man, I can only imagine that thought that I would have, and I'd be like, oh, I bet this is going to happen, and boom, it doesn't. Anyways, here's probably a terrible segment on betting, but man, it's just some of the things that I think of.
Here's one thing I want to add about that, because I'm pro gambling, and I think it's your money, do what you want. If you're an expert on the Seahawks, make your bets on your player props. Where I get worried is if you guys are familiar with Shams, I forget his last name. He's a beat reporter, kind of an insider for the NBA, very much like Woj. He works for a FanDuel or a gambling company. That's where he gets his money. That's where he gets his salary. But he's reporting stuff as information. So he could say, kind of, if we take the Christian McCaffrey example, well, let's not release the injury info. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. Now we do it 90 minutes ahead of time. One, because the coach doesn't want the scheme to be revealed, even though they knew by Friday. But then you can have a reporter who's getting paid by a gambling company hide that information, so then people bet the wrong way, so then the gambling company can win. This is where I think it gets really complicated. We haven't even gotten to the part of Javante Porter in the NBA getting suspended because he was tanking his performances for bets, or Calvin Ridley situation in the NFL. Like, this is where it gets really, really murky water.
It gets really murky, like big time. So, I mean, I think, and by the way, do you have family members or yourself? Do you feel like, because what I just gave you, $220 billion within the last 5 years. Are you a part of that? Are you a part of that? Like, yeah, hey man, I'm a part of that $220 billion. That's where it's going. Now, a lot of you have got on the stream and said, hey, keep sports betting, right? Keep sports betting to the casinos.
Yeah, okay. That was Paul's argument. Yeah.
I'll concede there. Don't allow this. Not on the phone. No, that's a problem. Actually have to physically, you know what this reminds me of? Being able to gamble from the phone reminds me of credit card debt, right? You ever sometimes, like, it's harder to spend cash than it is to swipe. Would you agree? That's kind of how I look at sports betting. Make it to where you have to go in and take hardcore cash.
And it's different. It's different driving to the casino. And if you live in the Seattle area, you got to make the drive. And then you have to pull money out. And then you're sitting at the machine. You're like, gee, now what do I want to do? Versus on the phone, you can kind of, well, we'll see. I got a drink in me watching the games. This is fun. Oh, right. I spent $220 on my day off.
Hey. Here's another couple topics that we got to go to. We got about 3 more topics before we end this stream. I'm going to need your participation into this. One of those topics are going to be, we're going to ask about the best steak in the state of Washington. What place has the best steak? We'll get to that in a second, right? We'll get to that. We're also going to get to what's going to be coming up this week on the show, also being the opponent being the Miami Dolphins. Speaking of the Miami Dolphins, first, Tua. It's probably a good chance that Tua, franchise quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, will not be the starter against the Seahawks in Lumen Field next Sunday. As a matter of fact, if you are in Tua's camp, if you are family with Tua, what would you have him do? Would you have him stop playing the game? Should Tua stop playing the game? This is a no-brainer for me. We know about the 5 to 6, right, accounted for concussions that he's had. We also know about the ones that we've seen. We remember the ones that we saw before that were bad, like soul crushing.
Yeah,
bad.
There was one last year where they said he had a back injury in like week 3, and it was clearly a concussion.
But should he play again? No. I think Tua should be done. I think Tua, it happened on the field. He would still get $100+ million when it comes to it. I think that this is a time right here where in football, right, his health is way more important. After this game is done, how old is Tua? I don't even have it on my notes right here. What is he, 26, 7?
He's 26.
Tua's 26 years old. Think about that for a second. He's 26 years old. He has to go the rest of his life. Imagine him being retired in his early 30s and having brain problems, memory problems. No, that's not what none of us want for Tua. And I just really hope, look, I'm not an expert. I don't know any information that's not already present. Do I think that there have been more concussions for Tua than the 5 or 6 that have been documented? I think so. But neither here or there. I also know what I've seen, what you've seen with your own eyes. I think it's time to hang it up, Tua. I think it is time for you to go ahead. Look, you won a national championship. You were a first-round pick in the National Football League. You got a big contract. You're on a good team. Look, man, this is more important than money is your health. I think you need to go ahead and ride off into the sunset and not play this game.
Why just Tua?
I think because I can't think of anybody that has had an ugly bout of concussions the way it has played out for Tua that we've seen. I mean, unless I'm wrong, can you guys name someone? Hey, no, this.
I mean, the unreported. I mean, I can't imagine all the unreported concussions offensive linemen have, or defensive players have, that just go unnoticed. It's interesting that we draw the line that we have to do it because of Tua, but how many players out there are on their 5th or 6th concussion that we need to pull out?
I don't know.
Is that 25% of the league? Is it 10% of the league?
I'll admit something. I'll admit. I'm a little look, with the Tua, it stands out to me because there have been times that we saw Tua, it was so bad. You remember a couple years ago, it was so bad with Tua that we wondered if he would play again then. And so now on this tackle, right, which, by the way, you guys saw the tackle. The tackle wasn't really that bad. It reminds me of Javid Best. Any of you remember Javid Best? Running back from the Detroit Lions years back, phenomenal running back. Had a lot of concussions in college and he got to the pros. And, I mean, he was phenomenal. Matter of fact, I remember it was after a Monday night game that I think he never played again in the National Football League because of concussion. So I definitely am just believing that, hey, Tua, this might be time for you to sit this one out.
Well, and this gets me into an interesting point with concussions because I recently saw a video of Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown in a podcast kind of joking and laughing about it because they weren't sure if they have it or what the cause is and whatnot. Look, yeah, Tua, he's a southpaw. Southpaws, we stick together. I'm all for him, you know, thinking about long-term future instead of just being a gamer and wanting to get back onto the field. This leads me into a hot take I want to provide where I thought we had a real chance to make significant change with concussions about a little less than 10 years ago. And I think that all went away because the movie was bad. That's my take. I think if we had a spotlight level movie with concussion, that we would have had major changes to the league at large and sports at large, at least in America. But it was an okay movie, and then we kind of stopped talking about concussions. It's just something we deal with now.
Frank, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. I thought the concussion movie was terrible. It was absolutely awful. And as a matter of fact, it was awful and it was really an injustice to what really goes on with concussion.
Like, imagine if it was Spotlight level.
What's that?
Imagine if it was like Spotlight, the Boston Globe movie.
If the concussion movie would have been good, I think we would see so many advancements when it comes to concussion. Now, Have things gotten better? Sure. Yeah, no doubt about it.
I mean,
do
it's an
think so.
option to wear
But-
like the new helmet.
You
It's
say
not
what?
even mandatory. They have that new helmet, and it's like, you can wear it if you want.
Yeah, the movie was definitely a bad one. All right. Let's talk about, before we get to our rankings for today, and we decided what this was, we've already got you all weighing in on the best steak in the state of Washington. Before we get there, just to let you guys know what's going on this week, Cliff Averill, Super Bowl champion on the greatest, arguably, the greatest defense of all time, will be joining us for the Tuesday episode. Tuesday, 7 o'clock in the morning. Remember, every Tuesday and Thursday, you will get a new reset episode. So Tuesdays, Thursdays, 7 a.m., you will be getting that. So looking forward to having Cliff Averill will join us.
We're going to have to settle at one point the greatest defense instead of just keep saying arguably. We're going to have to just talk it out and figure out what are the best defenses. We got to get this.
I don't, because the thing is I'm always going to say arguably. And I don't think you can settle the greatest defense of all time. I don't think you can settle the greatest NBA basketball player of all time. I don't think you can settle who's the greatest boxer of all time. I think all of it is arguably. Like there's teams that are thrown in, or boxers or NBA players that are thrown in, that you can legitimately have a case for. Like when it comes to boxing, some might say, obviously, Ali was the greatest of all time. No question about it. Or you might say Floyd Mayweather. Or you might say, yeah, you know what, with all that being said, but nobody captured our attention the way Mike Tyson did. So when I say arguably, it just kind of helps out where we can argue on a different day. But hey, Frank, in the future, can we argue about the greatest defenses of all time? Sure. That's always fun conversation. Good, nice little barbershop talk that happens out there. All right, let's get to it right here. The steaks. The best steaks of all time. By the way, the best burger of all time that I told everybody, miners out there in Yakima had the best burgers. Boy, that thing was a big deal on social media. But now I want to get to the steaks. Here we go. Here's a clip for you, Frank. Boom, here we go. The greatest steak in the state of Washington goes to the Metropolitan Grill. That's right. I said it. The Metropolitan Grill, the old school, the OG Bobby Johnson, the place right there where it seems like it's right out of a mafia movie because it still has that vibe in there. You can still see the wood, you see the carpet, the smell, and the ambiance. The Metropolitan Grill, they are still holding up to the test of time right here in the state of Washington. They have the best steak. Now, I would love some arguments to come in. Let's hear what you got. Frank.
Yeah, I mean that's one that gets passed around a lot. That you hear that name a bunch. I think someone said in the chat, maybe not. Ruth's is always a good one.
Ruth Chris?
Yeah,
Ruth Chris is cool.
I like that one a lot.
But here's what's starting to happen, Frank. Let me tell you what's starting to happen around here. A lot of these new places are showing up. A lot of these places on IG, and you get the sizzle reels, and you get the, checking them out in the story, and they make for good IG pictures. You know what I'm talking about? Have you ever gone to a restaurant? Have you ever gone to the place and maybe you have a significant other, they're like, I got this saved. We got to go to this new one. We got to go to this new one. And you go there and they look good on IG, but you get there, you like,
Oh, yeah. Seattle's got a good amount of those.
Oh, no. You notice? You don't never see the Metropolitan Grill on IG. You don't
They don't need it.
never see any influencers going out to the Metropolitan Grill. Because you know why? Because they steady Eddie, baby.
The word of mouth is really strong with that one. I'm going to shout out one more. I didn't even know when I came to Seattle, I didn't even know it was an old school favorite that came back. I just thought it was a great space that I found. El Gacho. I think that's near Pike Place Market. It's in that area.
Okay, so
I'm going with that one.
So you have the El Gacho in Bellevue.
Oh, okay. I
And
didn't have this one
you
there.
have that one, and no, you're right. You're right. You have the El Gacho. You have the Aqua. Down there, down close to the water.
You're not messing with those?
Yeah. I like El Gacho.
If I took you to El Gacho, you can have a sneak on your face?
No. I like El Gacho. I'm not. And by the way, when we're talking about steakhouses, let's be real. The steakhouses that come up, you're already at the top. So look, the fact that look, El Gacho's is there, no question about it. Make sure another staple that folks seem to kind of not give some respect to and don't put respect on their name. Daniels.
Oh,
That's right. Daniels, right there. You got one right here in South Lake Union, right there. You got the one in Bellevue. You got the one in Leschi. Daniels. And if you're fancy, well, you don't have to be fancy, but you get that popcorn scrimp right there. That's right. You get that at Daniels. But Daniels Steakhouse right there is another one that doesn't get their love and everything. All right. Let's see. Daniel says, not everyone can afford a Metropolitan Grill, G. Oh, Daniel, I know what you're saying. I can't afford it either. No doubt. Every now and then I can go and get me, something from Metropolitan Grill. But I'm just saying, like, they got the steak. That's it. If you guys want to throw some other ones, and I see you guys you guys went crazy about the burgers. Let's go crazy about these steaks. Have you been on the east side? Now you got the new ones, right? So these are the ones that you see on Instagram. These are the ones you see all over. STK, Ascend out there.
You're a West Seattle guy at one point. What about Jack's?
Hey, I like Jack's.
Okay.
Matter of fact, you know about Jack's, Frank?
Yeah. Well, I had a friend who lived in West Seattle for a time.
So back in the day, I remember when Jack's first opened. They got a Jack's over there. Do they still have a Jack's in Ballard? There was a Jack's in Issaquah. Respect to Jack's, no doubt. Now, for everybody that's down in Tacoma, you want me to show some love to Tacoma? By the way, as you guys know, I live in Tacoma. So we'll go down to Tacoma, and I got to give love. Cuerno Bravo. They got a nice steak. They really do. Nice place to eat. No question about it. Right there. Cuerno Bravo is a great place for a steak. So there it is. I'm sure my guy Frank is going to put out a clip on the best steak of all time. We'll see how far this goes. Before we go, Frank, I want to go back to why we're here. We're here because the Seahawks are 2-0. We're here because Geno Smith was excellent in the game today. We are here because Mike McDonald had a very, very good coaching. His second game, and this is what we was coaching against. I think it was a chess match between the two, between Mike McDonald and Mayo. I think that these two teams are very well disciplined. Two teams that are playing great defense. One team that ran the ball well in 185 yards in the Patriots to the Seahawks 46. Despite all that, the Seahawks still got it done. Love the fact that they're 2-0. And remember, they're 2-0 in a division where the Niners are 1-1, where the Arizona Cardinals are beating the Rams, right? And so what can you ask for? You ask for a team that's doing what they're supposed to do. A Seahawk team that gets to come home week 3 at home against a Miami Dolphins team. I love where the Seahawks are right now. I absolutely do. Love where they are. Love the way they are winning football games. Frank, come on, man. I know you got about 2-3 more things you want to say before we go. What you got?
I can't wait to see our secondary go against Marvin Harrison Jr. because I know he's having a really good game against the Rams. I was thinking real quick, we should do a little injury recap and let's see where we're at. We had Ken Walker who was ruled out. What's the vibe on him returning week 3?
Yeah, so here's the thing I know what you guys know when it comes to the injury report, okay? So I don't want you guys to listen to what I say and think that I know any differently than you guys do. But the type of injury that they are reporting, I know a little bit about that because I've had some former Seahawks that were friends, specifically my good buddy Rob Sims back in the day. I remember he had an oblique issue, right? And in that oblique, it was about time and how long he had to sit out. So it's a long season. And it is one in which we all know the weather is cool right now. But this is why things start to change towards the end of the season. The weather starts to change. And sometimes some people are different football players, right, in September than they are maybe in November. Injuries. I want to make this simple for you. Are you someone right now, you ever have a bad knee, bad ankle, right, or bad shoulder or neck, whatever the case might be, and you ever notice sometimes in the summer it's better than it is, let's say, in the winter when it's cold, right? Those things. The reason why I'm bringing that up, because when you start talking about oblique, it's nothing to play with. And I think that last season, Kenneth Walker III also had, am I right, the abdomen.
Yeah, it's the same injury.
So, me personally, I'm thinking that according to what they're saying, oblique, maybe he misses the next couple games, probably.
If that's the case, then I do think a lot of the talk leading into this week was that Charbonnet was going to take on the Kenneth Walker role. They probably need to pivot to more of a committee, get more McIntosh in there, change it up a little bit, because I don't know if Charbonnet can handle that workload.
Yeah, that's going to have to change. And I think that in week 3, at home at Lumen Field, we're finally going to have to start seeing Kenny McIntosh. So this is the week. We're going to have to see it. And so that whole the next man up mentality, right? Your depth. And we talked about this in preseason. This is why preseason, the teams that win preseason games are usually the teams that actually have depth, right? Because you're seeing the 2s and 3s of this team against the 2s and 3s of that team. Well, right now, we are going to have to see if the Seahawks have depth. Now, so far, they're 2-0, and they showed you they do have depth, right? The offensive line, they showed you that they have some depth. They were successful in the second half in week 1. They were successful in week 2. Now, when it comes to depth at running back, this Seahawks team has to find that. Did you see it this week in week 2? No, you did not. And I think that in order for it to get done, I think as Miami Dolphins, as they're watching the tape, watching the film, they're saying to themselves, you know what? We got an opportunity if we could just make them and force them to be one-dimensional. And I think that the Seahawks today, you saw a big stretch of time where they were one-dimensional, right? They were one-dimensional, and you just can't have that. Kenny McIntosh week happens next week, Frank.
Do you have any thoughts? George Fant coming back? We could use some help on the line.
They can. They can use some line, but what you don't want is you don't want some of these players rushing back. It's a long season. We are just in September. Next week is week 3. Chill, right? Let's make sure that K9 is good to come back. Make sure Noah Fant is good to come back. Go ahead and save some of these guys and make sure they're good. By the way, Kat Stokes, good to see you. Girl, you're late. Where you been, Kat? All right. So these are the things. But, man, before you go, I want you to go to bed tonight just thinking. 2-0. Seahawks 2-0 with an opportunity to play a Miami Dolphins team that's coming into town. And that same Miami Dolphins team is not so sure of themselves considering they don't have their franchise quarterback. The Seahawks have the potential to be 3-0. And so that's the thing, though, right? What happens when these experts and all of them, they had the Seahawks. Remember they had the Seahawks ranked like 22, 23 as far as the power rankings, right? It's fine. You don't have to worry about the power rankings. You don't have to worry about what the experts say. What you have to worry about is the Seahawks taking one game at a time, winning week 1, done. Win week 2 on the road, done. Hard-fought game, Don't matter. Nobody's going to remember what happened. Nobody's going to remember the 46 yards rushing that the Seahawks has. Nobody's going to remember some drop passes that people weren't catching of Geno Smith. Nobody's going to remember some of those penalties earlier on by the defense. You're not going to remember that. You know what you know now, and that you're going to remember that the Seahawks right now are 2-0. 2-0. And then you have an opportunity to play for 3-0 coming up this week. That is a beautiful situation to be in. That is called being in the driver's seat. This puts pressure on everybody else, not the Seahawks. The Seahawks just need to worry about week 3. And look, and I gave my concerns. I'm not everything's great. No, there's concerns. The Seahawks team needs to be able to run the ball better. The Seahawks team needs to be able, when you're 4th and 1 in that situation right there, the Seahawks need to get that 4th and 1.
Yeah, some bland short yardage calls, definitely.
So,
and then one thing just to add, we beat the Patriots. God, I hate the Patriots, and I'm sure how so many people here listening to them. I'm really curious of what non-divisional opponent, we asked this in a poll earlier this week, what non-divisional opponent makes you the most excited for us to beat? We got a lot of Cowboys, a lot of Steelers, and then a lot of Patriots. Really glad to beat New England, even if it isn't Brady Belichick.
Cowboys. I can't stand the Cowboys. I can't stand the Cowboys. I can't stand Cowboys fans. I can't stand nothing about. Wait, I do like Dallas. I do like the city Dallas. So this is no knock on the city. I just can't stand the franchise. I can't stand the team. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. I'm so sick and tired of Dallas Cowboys getting the primetime games. I'm so sick and tired of Dallas Cowboys this in your face and then the fans want to tell you about how great they were. You're not. You're screaming, them boys, shut up. Like, seriously. So, some of you all, you put a poll out there, Frank. Some of them said the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say the New England Patriots. Even though the Patriots beat the Seahawks in Super Bowl 49, I don't have a bad taste in my mouth for the Patriots the same way I do the Cowboys. I can't stand the Cowboys. Everything. I'm tired of Cowboys. I'm tired of every single time these Cowboys retire, they got a spot on TV. Have you noticed that? They just throw them all on TV. Jason Garrett, Tony Romo, Michael Irvin. It don't matter. They just throw them on TV. It's Cowboys constantly.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. And then just one thing to reveal for the upcoming game, make sure we gotta make sure this isn't a trap game, because we just saw Malik Willis beat the Colts this week with the Packers. So even if it is Skylar Thompson, we need to make sure they still got Tyreek, they still got Jalen Waddle, they still got Achane, they still got Jalen Ramsey. Like, we do need to be careful about that game, even if it is Skylar Thompson playing.
So this is why it's important. This is why it's important. Did you heard what Frank just said? This is why you can't get caught up in, oh, this team should win or this team should lose, and well, the Seahawks, well, they should take care of a team without Tua, the franchise quarterback coming into. No. You gotta play the game week in and week out. I tell you this all the time. The difference between good and great is right here. The margin of error is that much. You go out to that Patriots game, and what you just saw out of the Seahawks and the Patriots, close game, right? Close. Even the Denver Broncos that came to Lumen Field, did you think that was going to be a blowout? It's a hard-fought game, and that's how it's going to be. So that's why I'm very big on, Frank, the Seahawks are 2-0. Man, that is something to celebrate. Don't let anybody tell you it's the beginning of the season or anybody says, oh, you should have won. No. It is hard to be 2-0. It is hard to win in this league.
Yeah, I'm really curious what's going to last longer, our undefeated streak or the Chargers, because I feel like those are the two new coaches. Jim Harbaugh is not a new coach, but those are for the new coach theory, these two guys who implemented new systems, who's gonna be the best? I think those are the two brand new coaches and their new teams that are gonna stand out amongst the pack, because we had a lot of new coaches this year.
Frank always gives that new coach theory, and I got to tell you, those Chargers look nice. J.K. Dobbins, shout out to the Ohio State. J.K. Dobbins looks real good.
So happy for that guy.
Any of you guys got J.K. Dobbins on your fantasy team? Anybody? Because, boy, I know J.K. is Alvin Kamara. Any of y'all got Alvin Kamara on your fantasy football team?
What about JSN? He had a nice game.
JSN having a nice game. So, again, look, it's been fun on this stream. 2-0. We get to go in this week, talk about a lot of things. We will review this week's game coming up. Try to see if we can get somebody from the Miami Dolphins. It was, a big thank you to Kendrick Bourne for coming on our show earlier this week to talk about this preview of the Seahawks and Patriots. Let's see if we can get somebody from the Miami Dolphins to talk about this preview of this game coming up. Remember, Tuesday, 7 a.m., Cliff Averill will join the show. Hey, you guys have a great one. All of you all out here that's on the stream live right now, thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. Hey, you guys have a good night. Have a great week. Frank, always appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, and shout out Jason Myers, by the way. He did hit the game winner. We forgot to really mention him. Great job, Jason Myers. Thanks for winning the game for us.
Hey, man. You know what? Thank you, Frank. I needed that. Why do we do that? Why do we do that?
We don't have a kicking problem with other teams.
Why don't we why did it take me, how long we been doing this stream for?
We go about 75 minutes.
We've been going 75 minutes, and this is the first time Jason Myers' name has got brought up.
It's because it was a 30-yarder chip shot, and we're really complimenting the overtime drive Gino and Charbonnet led with Tyler Lockett with big catches, but he still put the kick up. We got to,
But if he would have missed it,
that would have led this. That would have led this live
about
stream. That would have led the live stream.
And see, that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing with the offensive line, y'all. We are quick to criticize the offensive line when things go wrong, but we don't say nothing when they go right. So, Frank, thank you. My apologies to Jason Myers.
And shout out.
Apologies that I've been going this damn long and haven't brought your name up. That's disrespectful. That's that one guy that's in your life. Hey, he's a good guy, right? He's a very good guy. He answers your phone calls. He answers your texts. Every time you call him, he's available, but you still don't want to give him no love. You still want to go after somebody else. You don't want to give the nice guy with a good job, good credit, very good personality. That's Jason Myers. And Jason Myers, I apologize.
And shout out the first of many Byron Murphy sacks. He had a half sack. Here we go. The first of many.
Man, first of many. Man, I feel bad. I don't know. I got to do better. I got to do better on this stream. I have to do better as somebody that is talking about the Seahawks to not bring up the fact that the guy that hit, it's only 30 yards. It's only the field goal game winner. It's no pressure, no big deal. My bad. Takeaway for today, Julian Love is the prosecutor.
The
Mark it,
prosecutor.
book it, write it down. Hey, appreciate y'all rocking with me. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.